All right. So what I figured is that we're either in a simulation or, um, so I'm tracking back to my involvement, I guess, on Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter for this example. And I look back at all these things. I'm looking back and I have one of the theories is that with somebody, they had thought I was some sort of, some sort of crazy, harmful person, and interacting with such a thing. And then they ended up saying, "All right, well, he's in Brownsville now, so, or yeah, Texas. So let's go ahead and do that." Because I mean that's one of my that's one theory. As crazy as that sounds, because then I look back, and I'm like looking at my replies, and I'm like looking at the dates of the times and the emails that I have sent, and and the DMs that I have sent, and I'm like maybe with the culmination of like me just using the app a lot and talking to people and talking about Neuralink and talking about this and you know that and then before and then I had me having an outburst and here and then and then selling the car and then leaving and then I'm looking at the replies and then I see, oh, that's strange, and then I'm like, I remember saying once, I remember seeing it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this can be taken as like sort of negative. Like, oh yeah, they definitely fucking tripped me at this point or something. So, because they all know each other, so maybe there is some sort of thing like this. I don't know. I'm getting apprehended sort of talking about it. Like, the more I talk about this, and I feel fine talking about it, it's just, there's like physical sort of restrictions, like pressures on my heart, and yeah. So that's what I am wondering too, because they can see they can see all these sort of direct messages and things like this. And if that is the truth, then I hope they don't try to cover it up. I'll tell you that. It's not worth it that they cover it up. Or you shouldn't, at least. It's not the thing to do. So, but yeah, that's one of my theories. That's why I'm calling that one a theory, because it's pretty harebrained. So yeah, I remember, because there is this whole side of this internet thing that I never even saw, and there's a whole side of they have a bunch of people that that are genuinely want to like harm and kill people. So I'm wondering if that I've always said they've seen too much evil. I always say that they've seen too much evil, because here I come along, and I'm, so maybe I'm thinking as a precaution they said, all right, well, he's kind of crazy on here, and I do have a lot of banned accounts. I do know this. Intenting. Trying to think of the other ones. It's probably Ads Humans, his band. I think there might be another one. I'm not sure. There's one that was called, not suitable for work, Catbot or something, or bot or something. So, I don't know. And then maybe with all the, DMs, and then they're thinking like, all right, well, this guy's a fucking, an asshole or a freak, so we better do something about it, and chip him. And then it's just strange, because then, I read those sort of, things, So then all the replies about this and that, and then replies to, maybe they thought I was some sort of fucking, some sort of, like, crazy person or something, Maybe, I don't know. And they're like, oh, this is strange. And this is all in the course of being... I still don't think I have a fucking people know who I am, which is ironic and probably stupid, but I still don't think that people know who I am. So I've had that sort of... Because there's no feedback. There's no, it's like, all right, I got 10 views on this or whatever, So... So here I am writing, sort of pouring things out, So maybe they did think I was some sort of crazy person. So I'm thinking this. And then I look at the replies, and then the replies are about this, and then sort of things that are musical. And then I'm like, oh my goodness. Maybe they thought I was saying this and that, and then they're like, all right, we have to, and then I go to Boca or Brownsville, whatever you want to call it, Texas, and then I don't know, something. I have the outburst, and then I sell the car and leave, and I don't know, and then I just remember being there and being in the hotel and looking at the TV and waking up after a meal at Denny's or whatever. I was exhausted. And waking up and hearing a voice saying, I had to look at the voices before too, see what that's all about, but I documented that one, I think, already on Mirror, but I'm talking about before July, so, because I was in Boca Chica, Texas, on July 4th, 23, so, that I do remember. So, then, so, coming back, then I'm reading all these notes that I've left myself, notes to selves, into ShareBot from JunkBot, and they're like, I'm telling myself that I'm hearing these voices, and they're saying these things that I've never heard voices before. I've never heard these sort of things before, and and I don't know. And I was describing too in the DM, I'm like, it's like when there's certain posts, it like tells me to do certain things with these posts, and I don't listen to it, and then they get upset, and then I could have swore that one was making me vomit and all this other stuff. So I don't think I was getting jolted then. I don't know when I started getting jolted. I guess over time and then I went to maybe that's when it really did start, was I was hearing all the voices, and I went down to the Advent Health, got into the scuffle, and then went to the mental asylum place. then I felt the pressure of the heart the whole time I was there, this sort of dull pressure. I'm like, that's strange. Why do I feel this dull pressure? And then, while I was, that, and then I was seeing things on the wall. I said, watch how you think this, not that, all this sort of stuff. And then, and then I finally, after there, I was there for like a week, went home, and, doing whatever again. And I don't know about the time frame of hearing voices then, or jolts, or whatever. But, then I started getting jolted, and then then it got more serious and serious. It kept getting more serious. And then I remember being at these sort of jobs, and then these Zoom meetings with the jobs, with the VXI, and the insurance job, and seeing all these people, and then hearing the sort of commentary in my head as well with that, and then there are people on the screen or whatever, and then going on the Safelite, doing that job, and then having the Safelite job, and I have all these people sort of like kept pointing to their ears and all these things, and you can hear you and all this other stuff. Maybe hopefully I wasn't being delusional, but that's what it felt like when I was there. And then, all these strange things. And then my eyes go into the comments and go into the chat, and showing the chat, and and they're like, all right, look at the chat now, and I look at it, and it'd be something, and it'd be like somebody's trying to communicate through me with my body, and then their physical, people. So, and then I remember going onto the app during like the breaks and stuff like this, or after the day, on the other iPhone, and then saying, and then that's when I would see something. I saw a little girl get shot. She got shocked to death. She was sick in there's like a wire or something in some, like Mexico or something, and she got shocked. And I don't know. She fell down, And then I remember watching that video and seeing it, and then being disturbed by it. And there was something else with somebody was on there, and I looked at it, and it was like that. I got one of the sort of jolts of the shoulder of the body, and like a I'm right here, like I'm here, sort of thing. I was like, fuck, that's fucking terrifying. So that's when that jolt started. But yeah, I don't, and then the jolts and the voices became even more intense, and then I had trouble sleeping and going to sleep, because this is going to be last night, Robert, all this stuff. And, the thing that freaks me out the most is it's the physical jolts, and the sort of, real, IRL, coincidences. And I know what paranoia is, because I've been paranoid before, and I don't feel like this is paranoia. I don't know so I know what being paranoid is. I've been paranoid before, but I tell you, this does not feel like paranoia. Something strange going on. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse, and then I guess then there is the sort of jolt, and then being in the bed and hearing I was napping, and the only sort of time when I got some sort of pieces when I was napping. I remember even them saying, like, yeah, we fired that guy. We fired him. He was being an ass. We fired him. Like, they were like, as if they were like people in a lab communicating with me or something like this. So then I remember waking up or something, having some nap or something, and I was waking up, and you're like, Robert, can you hear me? And I was like, what the fuck? And then she let me try, and it was like like an Indian woman, like with an Indian accent. Like they're using a microphone or something. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like freaking out in my head. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, so this is all very real. That experience, whatever you want to call it. So then, fast forward, I guess, to all this where, I can't sleep, man. I tell you, like, I mean, I could sleep, but every night I go to bed, I feel like they're going to stop my fucking heart, So I'm like, fuck. And then I have this, and don't think this. And I'm like, think what? Like, this. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I go around, and then I go around, and I'm on, sometimes it's like, so then I have then I'm getting a pressure now on the side of the head, so, but then, the most recent one that fucking freaked me out even the most is that I have it on video, which is even wilder, is I'm sitting at the fucking chair, and then I get a jolt in the right leg, and then as soon as I get a jolt in the right leg, the neighbors or somebody screams or something like this at the same time. I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. So it's either a simulation or something else. Something's strange. I don't know what it is. So going back to all of this, going back to the beginning here, if they thought I was some person that I am not, if they thought I was some person or some, I don't want to say the word shooter or something, but some sort of like, one of those people. And I'm not, and they're doing it for precaution or something. Well then fuck. What the hell? So I don't know what they thought. And it pains me because I know that there are very, very, very evil people, especially with the internet, especially with controlling, hacking. That power relationship is very interesting. It's a very delicate one, then. Got to be delicate there. And there's hacking for good, then there's hacking for evil. The power, people love it. So maybe there is some sort of thing where they thought I was like, who's this fucking guy that's ruining this fucking, he worked for New York Times and this and the mayor and with Elizabeth Warren, and then maybe there is some sort of connection there. I don't know. I don't know. I know my fucking lease got rushed. I'll tell you that. Damn paperwork came at 8 p.m. or something one night or something. Like, as though it was like, get him out of there, So I don't know if that's how I remember, at least. And, yeah. So, and then it ties into, the thing and my replies and all this stuff. And I'm like, maybe that happened. I don't know. Maybe they thought I was gonna harm somebody, so they like better to chip them and do that, I wish the truth, or just whatever the truth is, I wish it would come out while I'm alive. I just want to live the reality that everybody else is living. But yeah, that's I think the whole gist of it there. That's my, I don't want to say theory, but that's my idea, I guess. It's my best guess. My best that's my best irrational assumption. Okay?